This is not my Vegeta right here. My Vegeta doesn't give up.
No,
My
yeah.
Vegeta lets Cell eat the androids so he can play.
No, Vegeta essentially literally said he's not going to mess with Ultra Instinct. He's like, that's not my thing. Kakarot can have that. I'm going to do my own thing. That's basically
like,
what he said.
He was basically like, Ultra Instincts for little bitches.
Yes. Yes, that is exactly right. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome into AniMan Plus, episode 39. I'm your host, Alex Light. Hopefully you are having a phenomenal day, whatever day you're listening to this podcast, perhaps watching this podcast over at our YouTube channel, Sparking3. Make sure to like the video, give us a subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. Guys, we got a pretty good little lineup of things to talk about here. We got some updated sales numbers to talk about. We have some very interesting news coming out of Weekly Shonen Magazine with a legendary series. We also have some news over a series that we've been actively reviewing and what's going on there. And to join me, as always, here in the studio, I got Zach. Zach, how are you doing today?
Going good. Cannot complain. Another wonderful Thursday.
That's right. Another wonderful Thursday. And then over the phones, we have Josh here. Josh, how are you? Are you ready to deliver that inspirational speech that's going to make me want to run through walls here at the end of the episode?
Yeah, totally. How are you doing, by the way? Your birthday was yesterday as we're recording this.
Yep. My birthday was yesterday. Shout out to that. It was a good day of just me beating my skull into my desk over Teamfight Tactics. So that was a fun time.
What led to that anyways?
Man, I don't know. I've had an itch to play it for a while, so I finally just jumped into it, and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm determined to figure it out is the better way to put it.
You said that, I went, I'll play a match, and I played like 2 rounds, got second and first.
I will say, I watched some videos, or I listened to some videos today on the way to work. And I'm excited to play tonight because there are some things that I learned in listening to these that I realized I was doing wrong. So hopefully we can turn that around and maybe get good at TFT. Or not good, but just
better. Yes,
because that game is a lot of luck as well as some general knowledge. Got to be very lucky with the rolls. And if anyone that knows me knows that I'm a very unlucky person. So we'll see how it goes. But first and foremost, if you could, go follow us at Twitter at AniMan Podcast. We'd greatly appreciate that. We also have an Instagram now that's under the same name, at AniMan Podcast. You can go follow us there if you want. We also have my other podcast, Lighthearted Gamers. You can go follow us at Twitter at LH Gamers Podcast. We got some good stuff going on over there with E3 coming to a close and trying to figure out how the rest of this year is going to line up for the gaming industry. Still waiting on Sony. That should be here pretty soon. We did do an AniMan Plus bonus cast for Father's Day, so make sure to go check that out. And also, just so you know, episode 38 did come out, just FYI. I did notice that on the downloads, episode 38 kind of tanked just a smidge bit because the bonus cast and 38 came out on the same day, and the bonus cast would be first in your lineup. So just a friendly reminder, 38 is out there if you want to go listen to the news over there. And lastly, if you want to support us further, the Patreon is a great way to do so, but don't feel obligated. Just listen to the show. We appreciate you for that. Be a friend, tell a friend. But again, if you want to support us further, if you got the extra dollars you want to throw our way, we'd greatly appreciate it, and we'll put it to good use, and the Patreon's the place to go for that. All right, so let's jump into the shout-outs today. First and foremost, the day this episode is coming up, June 27th, is going to be the MAPA event. So be on the lookout for that on the news on Twitter or whatever the case is, where we're going to get the first look at Chainsaw Man. So that's going to be really exciting to talk about on episode 40. Shout out to 40 episodes coming up here soon. And then we're also probably going to see a couple of projects that MAPPA has in the works that we still currently do not know about. So looking forward to that. And to tie into that, Crunchyroll recently teased their summer 2021 lineup. Out of their lineup they have set up for summer, there are 2 quote-unquote what they're calling top titles that are still set to be announced, as well as 12 more titles under the simulcast that is still yet to be announced. So we'll probably hear that by the end of this month, beginning of next, because the actual summer anime season does begin in July. So we'll probably hear that pretty soon. I imagine at least one, a couple of these are probably MAPPA related, is probably a safe bet. So looking forward to seeing that. But also shout out to the fact that ITLC is dead.
Woo!
As we expected.
The best worst love story you'll ever not read.
Yep. But I will say that the Shonen Jump editor did tease for the creator's next work, telling people to be on the lookout
for
their next work. So looking forward to seeing what that's going to come out of. But yeah, chapter 21 that is coming out this Sunday is ITLC coming to a close.
You say that of looking forward to the next works. All I can think of is, you think we'll ever see another chapter of Chojin X?
Yeah, sooner or later, but it's a matter of when.
Eventually, yeah.
Could be.
Since he can, yeah, could be months.
Yeah, it could be months down the road. I don't know. But I feel like whenever we do see it again, I feel like, we'll actually get a schedule.
I hope. Because it seemed fairly interesting, even with the ending of the Raven person. So.
Right. And, one little tidbit of news that we had pop up, and it popped up initially in an official tweet, and then the tweet was deleted very quickly, but all reports are still pointing towards this, that Spy Family is coming in 2022, the anime. So that's pretty exciting. That's a series that I'm really excited to see what the anime is going to do for the manga in terms of sales, even though the sales are insane. In fact, here we have a little update that Spy Family has over 11 million copies in circulation.
I feel like it's going to get a similar what happened to Tokyo.
It's going to get you'll see a massive boost out of it, like we've seen out of JJK as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what the boost is going to be for that. Vinland Saga apparently has an important announcement on July 26th. So just a little friendly tidbit there. That's a series that I personally have not checked out. Zach, have you? I feel like it's a series you would check out.
I mean, I've looked at it several times and gone, I'll read that eventually, but I haven't actually touched it.
Gotcha. Well, we'll get an important announcement on the 26th of July, so we'll see what that is. Yasuke Anime gets a manga on July 27th as well. That was the series that was came up on Netflix and apparently did not that well. I understood that it was not received super well. Which seems to be a theme right now for Netflix animes, because I've seen the same thing out of Record of Ragnarok, which is now out, and we do plan to talk about that here at some point in the future.
Yeah.
But I've seen negative reviews on that as well as Record of Ragnarok. But it's getting a manga on the 27th, so going through here for some updated sales for you. So we do have some updated sales numbers for the Weekly Shonen Magazine volumes that we've talked about before. The update is for leading up to June 13th is the last numbers here. By next week, we'll have new updates, of course. Blue Lock Volume 14 with 132K, Eden Zero Volume 15 with 46K, and just a little extra tidbit here is Tokyo Avengers as a whole has sold 717K up till that point, which is insane. For the Weekly Shonen Jump volumes leading up to June 13th as well, we've got JJK Volume 16 with 1.5 million copies sold. The last update we have is 1.1 million. One Piece Volume 99 with 1.4 million. Last update was 1 million. Dr. Stone Volume 21 with 177K. Last update was 106K. Ayukashi Triangle Volume 4, 54K, and 34K was our last update. Witchwatch Volume 1, 24K. Last update was 15.4. Sakamoto Days Volume 2, 20K. Last update was 13.5. And keep in mind, both of those needed reprints, so we get to now see how the reprints have kind of affected it a little bit. Magu-chan with 8.6K. Last update was 5.5. Build King Volume 2 was 6K. Last update was 3.5. And High School Family Volume 2, 5.6. Last update was 3.3. And we have no update on Ball Parade just because it is selling so poorly. So it is not ranked, not being tracked at this time. The last update we had was 2.1. So, and I got to say, when it comes to Ball Parade, we got the news about these two new series coming out, and, it was not confirmed what was the other series ending. Mm-hmm. We knew it was going to be Ball Parade or ITLC, and I feel like leading up to the announcement for Red Hood and Niru, I feel like, Jump probably told the Ball Parade creator, hey, your series could potentially get axed, maybe kind of looked at wrapping it up, and that's why we've seen the chapters that we've had for weeks where it was like super sped up, super rushed, and then I feel like the chapter we got that introduced this new antagonist out of nowhere, out of left field, was
no, he's quite centered field. He's the superstar.
That's true. Where I feel like when that chapter came out was because they said, oh, by the way, okay, you're gonna live a little bit longer, so I need you to do something to get you back on track since you've kind of sped everything up. You kind of killed all your character development, so now just throw in someone new. I feel like that's probably what happened. We'll see, though. I still think Ball Parade will end. I will say whenever we do get to a point where it's going to end, what's going to happen is are we just going to get like one new series come in, because they normally do it in batches. So saying that, is there going to be a second series that will get cut with it, and what could that second series be? That's the question. I actually don't have a guess, if we're going to be completely honest.
Can always continue to hope High School Family.
Yeah, High School Family.
I feel like it's got the Maury King treatment at this point. So
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Maury King treatment. Yeah, but High School Family would probably be the next candidate. But I don't know. We'll see. I definitely think Ball Parade is not far from being axed, and High School Family is going to be right behind it. All right, so for Weekly Shonen Jump issue 30, obviously the cover is this new series, Red Hood. We have color pages for Black Clover, Mission News Core Family, and Magu-chan. And then some notable little things to shout out is Blue Box in 4th, High School Family at 7th, Roboco at 13th. I thought that was actually kind of surprising with how popular Roboco is and how low it is. And then Candy Flurry, a newer series that just came out, is in dead last. Yeah, Ball Parade's ahead of Candy Flurry. So that's kind of depressing. It's kind of depressing. And then next issue on the cover, we do have this other new series, Martial Arts Road Neru. Then we have color pages for Red Hood, Dr. Stone, and Elusive Samurai. Elusive Samurai's gotten a lot of color pages over the past few weeks. A lot
getting
of
a push.
Yeah, it is. It's getting a big push. We finally saw a cover for Volume 1.
Oh, did we?
I did see the cover. Yeah, I finally saw it. So that's that should be coming out here pretty soon in July. And I am very curious how well it's going to sell, because I mean I think you and I can agree the content for what would be in Volume 1 is not that great.
Well, I have a feeling that they may make it slightly larger. I could be wrong. They may not, because even back when it first came out, the first thing I said was, this series isn't going to get interesting until it's gotten to where we are now.
Right.
So I feel like they may make it a little bit, because that first volume is pretty much going to be all the introductory stuff. So it may not be the greatest Volume 1, but Volume 2 should be pretty interesting.
I think seeing the Volume 2 sales will be very interesting indeed. I agree with you on that. That'll be the one that I'm going to really look out for. And who knows, Volume 1 could still sell really well, just because it's been received really well as a whole. Now that it's kind of gotten more interesting, so it may just be for a collective purpose. Who knows? But at the same time, we have no idea how well it's going to blow out of it, because we don't know how well they're receiving it over in Japan.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the sales on it, because they've pushed this thing off for a while. This has been really drug on for a while, and I do think it could potentially, because of what we've said, just the content pacing of stuff. So, all right, so let's jump into some bigger stuff here to talk about. So the first thing here on the lineup is Kaiju No. 8, a series that we are talking about here pretty much every single week, a series that we firmly believe in is going to be one of the next big hits for, like, let's say for an anime and stuff like that. When an anime comes, it's going to blow stuff out of the water, no doubt about it. It is now officially going bi-weekly. That is now going to be the new release schedule. Up until now, it's been 3 weeks on, 1 week off, which, again, is thanks to that Jump Plus more relaxed work environment. But now it is changing to just one chapter every 2 weeks. And I'm not messed up about it. It's fine, because at the end of the day, this has been a topic that we've talked about here in the past. It's just that, we've got to prioritize the health of these creators. I didn't see like any official confirmation for any health issues or anything, but obviously you would safely assume that does play into it. But I mean, I don't personally see anything wrong with it, but I do want to further address and hammer out to everyone listening, one chapter every 2 weeks. And I'm stressing that because, man, the comments on Twitter that I saw, everyone was like so confused by this, about what it was.
What's confused about bi-weekly?
Exactly. And like, dude, I saw so many comments that kept asking like a bunch of different, like I saw, because, obviously this is a Jump Plus series, right? So I saw some people even ask, okay, so is it going to be normal release schedule on the Shonen Jump app? Because, there's 2 apps. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's bi-weekly, period. Man, the amount of confusing comments I saw from people where they were just very confused on what this was going to be literally shocked me.
It's pretty much like they put out a message that said, you'll get a new chapter every fortnight. Everyone, what's a fortnight?
Yes.
Do you know what a fortnight is?
No.
14 days.
Oh, thank you. No, did not know that. Thank you, though. The more you know. Ooh, have the little, star thing.
I mean, it's nice. It means we'll get chapters more consistently. I mean,
yeah.
Already was sort of always on the fence of like, do I have Kaiju this week? I think I do. I just check around 10 whenever it uploads.
Right. Yeah, so those nice little color page weeks are going to be gone, and it's just going to be consistent chapters every 2 weeks, like you're saying. So, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing, and I think it's also good that it's a series of this caliber, being Kaiju number 8, getting this treatment, because it's going to further drive the narrative that Shonen Jump is trying to prioritize creators' health, like they do with Oda, how he has a more, kind of a more lax schedule where he's able to take more breaks, and also what we've seen recently with JJK. So, I mean, I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this is another good step for the industry for prioritizing health. But yeah, I also got to say, I'm curious of what this will do for the Chainsaw Man, the sequel. Like what sort of schedule is are they going to be on? And he's already talked about how more lax working in Jump Plus already is. So I'm kind of curious what that schedule is going to look like. But I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. Josh, you got any thoughts on what's Kaiju number 8 changing up?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm all for it.
Yep.
Just because, I mean, we already get a week off every month anyway, so what's another one really?
Right.
And if it, helps maybe for like longer chapters or anything like that, I mean, I'm all down for it.
That's actually true. I didn't even think about the possibility of longer chapters. That's a good point. It could be who knows? Could be a consistent thing where it could be like mid-20s for chapters, maybe even approaching the 30. Who knows? I don't know. But that's actually a very good point. Did not think about that.
And we're getting to the point where in the manga where things are really starting to like heat up. So
that's true.
We're about to get a lot more action and stuff. So it would be nice to have longer chapters.
We're gonna get more action than what we already get.
Well, I mean, like
so are we talking like Chainsaw Massacre types of action?
I mean,
it could be.
You know what I mean? Like things are starting to like ramp up. I guess like more things are coming into play, more stuff's happening now. So like not just like more action, but like I don't know where I was going with that.
Okay. Because, I mean, if you want more action, there's always Chainsaw Man. They went,
I love
more
Chainsaw
action,
Man.
and they went, I gotcha.
That's true. That's true.
You like making a girl cry while making her dance revolution while you eat a hamburger? We got you.
Yeah. There was nonstop action during all of that.
I forgot all about that chapter.
I'm not sure how you forgot about it because it was so out of left field with everything going on.
Oh my
Where he
god!
just murders everyone in her family in that restaurant, and then makes her play Dance Revolution. It's amazing.
I completely forgot about that. Jesus Christ, man! When Chainsaw Man comes out, you guys are in for a treat. For the ones that have not read it and just looking for the anime, you guys are in for a treat. It's gonna be a whole lot of this.
What the is this chapter?
Never mind.
What the did I just watch?
That. It's going to be a whole lot of that.
I was about to say, we already had the first one already.
Yeah. That was why the effect was even created, was thanks to Chainsaw Man. All right, so next piece of news that we got, and this is actually a pretty big deal. So this series is, let's be real, it's one of the most legendary series in manga. But even with me saying that, probably not a lot of people know about it. And probably not a lot of people know about it simply because of, where it is. And basically the runner-up in the manga industry, per se, of how you would say, being part of Weekly Shonen Magazine. Everyone's always going to look for, Weekly Shonen Jump. That's where a lot of the big dogs come from. But a series that, hell, even has more chapters than One Piece. A series that's been around for a hot minute. This is like the flagship show over at flagship series over at Weekly Shonen Magazine. Hajime no Ippo is going to be available digitally for the first time ever come July 1st.
Legally.
Yes, legally. Thank you. Yes, legally. So this is honestly a big deal, and it's a big deal for a lot of reasons. Number one, this is like their flagship. Okay, this is their One Piece. Okay, like I said, it's got more chapters than One Piece. It's been around for a hot minute. All right, it's very popular over in Japan. It's gotten its anime. It's got its fandom. One of our friends, John, he's a big fan of this series. But even still, like this, even with how many chapters it has, the sales that it has, this is still a series that it's like. I do think it's because it is a sports, manga being boxing. I feel like that may possibly turn some people off, but this is a series that I feel like could really still get its stride and just keep on growing. And I think this is also a good thing to see because of just the increased, what's the right way to put it? Just the increased popularity with Weekly Shonen Magazine over the last 10 years. Okay. Because, before 2010, how many Weekly Shonen Magazine series did we have pop off that was really mainstream? Like, the only one that I can immediately think of is probably Soul Eater. I know there's others. I know I'm disrespecting those others by not remembering them, okay? But Soul Eater is the first one that I think of. That was probably like late in the 2000s when the manga started, that really popped off and has become mainstream. But like, let's look at the 2010s and what we've had come out of it. We've had Fairy Tail, another one, Rave Master, of course. Yeah. So in the 2010s, we've had Fairy Tail, we've had Seven Deadly Sins, we've got now Fire Force, we've got Tokyo Revengers that's recently popped off. We've got the Blue Lock, which is, at this point, a lock to get an anime. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of Mappa's. That's one of my predictions, is that Blue Lock is going to be taken up by Mappa. Weekly Shonen Magazine, the popularity of it has just continued to grow, over the last 10 years. Rent a Girlfriend, that's another one in Weekly Shonen Magazine. Yeah. So, I think this is a good thing to have their flagship finally be available digitally, legally, come July 1st. So, shout out to that. I've never checked out this series. It's been recommended to me hundreds of times by John and a couple other people. Still never got around to checking it out. But it's a series that I feel like I need to check out here at some point. Will I? That's the question.
I feel like Hajime no Ippo also has the staple of, it is such a large series and it's been on so long. It's got the same staple as One Piece of, do I really want to bring down on this many chapters? Because, the series itself is very good. It's, as Alex said, very synonymous with Weekly Shonen Magazine and its long-standing position and everything. And it's just the fact that it is a very large and long series that's still ongoing, by the way. And it's a sport, so not everyone's into sports animes or mangas. And then there is sort of the fact that it is an older aesthetic. Yeah, I was going to point that out here once we got through this, so we'll get back to that. So yeah, there's just many factors to Hajime no Ippo why it still has a large fan base currently, but why it doesn't explode or blow up as some other series out there from the Shonen Magazine. Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what it being available digitally could potentially do for it. And I'm also, I've seen a lot of rumors about this as well, about it possibly getting another, anime adaptation at some point. So, and that's what a lot of people thought the report, the announcement was going to be. That's what everyone was thinking. But even still, even like talking to John, who's a big fan of the series, like he was very pleased to hear the announcement because, again, this is just a good thing for the series to further, because it is a shame that the series is as large as it is and not bigger across the world. That is a shame. So I'm looking forward to seeing it going digitally here soon. And the reason I was laughing and what Zach just mentioned, and we're going to come back to this. So while we were going over all this and I was going on my spill, I saw it pop over here on my laptop that Josh uploaded a couple things in the Discord, but I didn't look at it right away. I saw that you looked at it, Zach, so I saw your face, but I tried not to get distracted, and I just kept on going. So Josh uploaded, good old JJK Volume 4, it's got Gojo on it, just give us a little friendly reminder that, hey, this is what it looks like. And then he shows us the cover for Me and Roboco Volume 4, which is an exact copy, basically, of the JJK cover.
For point of difference here, it's Gojo pulling off his face mask with his tongue out and some spiritual energy coming from his hand with blood on it. Roboco, on the other hand, is just staring at you with a ice cream cone in her hand with her tongue out, looking at the ice cream as it's falling down.
Grabbing tissues.
Yeah.
Here, go back to mine. I'm going to see if I can put this up. So there's, for context for everyone, right?
you're not going to be able to see that.
You can kind of see it. You can get the gist. Okay. I mean, this is a pretty good camera, right? All right. Now let's go look at me and Roboco here. Just as reference. Yeah, see, you can kind of see that. I mean, it's not bad. You can make it out. You get the general gist. So, shout out to me and Roboco for just being a big meme.
That's the second time it has hard copied JJK.
Yes.
Yep.
This is making me want to read this fucking series.
This is making me wonder if every 2 volumes they're going to do something JJK related, because the last one was volume 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these stupid memes make me want to read this series. Just because of the sheer amount of respect that I have for what they're trying to accomplish here. I have so much respect for it. So I'm looking forward to seeing the sales on that. Volume 3 came out. Volume 3 did come out, I think, a month or 2 ago. So Volume 4 should probably be here in
next month.
Oh,
right?
Is it going to be part of the July lineup?
I have no idea. I just figured if the last volume came out a couple months ago, isn't that the release schedule is every 2 or 3 months?
I would say so. So I would say either next month or August. I'm really pumped to see the sales on Volume 4 of me and Roboco now, because that is fantastic. I respect the grind. I respect what they're doing over there. All right, so last little bit of news we have here for today's episode is the My Hero Academia season 5. Of course, we've had the training arc, we've got the villain arc that we've been kind of waiting for, and then it was supposed to end off with Endeavor Agency help lead up to the movie. Well, they apparently did a little switch up, and Endeavor Agency is actually coming next. My Hero, it seems like the My Villain Academia is going to end off the season here on the 26th. This Friday, this upcoming Saturday for us when we're recording, will begin the Endeavor Agency arc. What do you guys thoughts on that? Do you guys really think it's a huge deal? The only thing that I don't think it's a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. I really don't. But my only thing that I kind of thought about it, and obviously we did get the little tease in this last episode at the beginning with Shigaraki, is that now we're going to be going back to the past kind of thing is what we're going to be doing, instead of going in the straight line that the manga did in terms of timeline. But other than that, I didn't think it was a big deal. I will say in terms of the movie, I did think it was going to be a good idea for Endeavor Agency to end off the anime, because it's going to end off the anime, and then you're going to have this new movie where they're working under Endeavor. You know what I mean? So that made sense. But other than that, I don't think it's a huge deal to go ahead and get this arc out of the way. It'll probably only be 3 episodes, 4 episodes, maybe. I don't know. But what do you guys think?
It won't be very long. I don't see it as a bad thing at all, just because, with the movie's going to take place more likely during the Endeavor Agency arc, and it would flow better for the movie. But all in all, it kind of works out better to start out, what they're going to do with the League of Villains, because that's basically the entire next season.
Yeah.
And so ending this season off with that would be a way better flow into that.
Yeah, for the anime.
Just in my opinion. Yeah,
that's a totally fair point. And I just don't. I don't think it's a big deal. I now that you mentioned that and pointed out, yeah, that's probably a good thing for the anime. Honestly, Zach, what about you? Do you have any real takeaway? Just kind of, hey, we're on the same page. It's not a big deal.
I was about to say, yeah, no, it makes sense. It's a move that makes sense of just continuing just along with the students and everything, just giving that little hint of what's going to come next.
Yep.
And then just flowing through and just then having during this time, during their training or while they're training, have this whole events going out. Then the movie's probably taking place where they're off doing whatever world mission is, and this whole other thing's going on at the same timeline is what I would guess.
Right. Yeah. That's what I would guess too. And and Josh, you're totally right, man. Season 5, that should be coming out next year. It will be that entire war.
Isn't this season 5?
Or season 6, I apologize. Thank you. Season 6, that will probably come out. It'll probably be that entire war. So it does make sense that end with the villains.
And looking at it too, now that we're talking about it, the Endeavor Agency arc isn't really something strong for the season to end on. Even if it does directly lead into a movie, it's not the strongest thing.
True.
Not Endeavor beating the shit out of that Nomu, or how the other seasons ended. So it would make sense to have it a strong hype ending, even if it does have to move one thing around.
Right. And I also can't help but to think that because this move happening, do you think that in hindsight, Horikoshi wished he would have done it that way.
It's quite possible, but
because we know that's happened with series before.
Yeah,
because I know one just random example off the top of my head is with the God of High School anime. With Mira's fight, she was supposed to lose. She lost in the webtoon.
Yeah.
And when it came to the anime, the creator wanted to do a little switch up where she actually won, because she got very Sakura syndrome for a while.
For a long time.
Yeah. He wanted to add some more relevance to the character for the anime. So I mean, those things do happen where in hindsight creators wish they could have changed something, and maybe this is one of those cases.
I mean, it's quite possible. I mean, it does flow actually better in this way.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and looking back on reading it too, I mean, the League of Villains setup was a long time in the manga, and it was kind of exhausting. And then we get to the Endeavor Agency, and that wasn't really any better, in my opinion, because not a lot happened. So, it may be that, he felt that it just works better the other way around. Right. Instead of having like a build up to nothing, because the build up leads to Endeavor instead of the build up leading to what the actual build up was.
Yeah, I can agree to that. And I'm looking forward to seeing the villain arc, especially, because as we've said before, it was very grinding in the manga, and I think the anime is going to do it some extreme justice. I'm just more pumped for season 6. I'm so ready for season 6, man.
I know. I can't wait to see Chainsaw Man.
That's true. Chainsaw Man is canon in My Hero Academia. That is true.
And supposedly Deadpool is too. So
Deadpool is too as well. Yes.
Yes, also true. All right, let's hop over to our anime breakdowns for the week. We do have one official finale, being Seven Deadly Sins, and then we also have the finale of 86, even though we have a bonus episode coming out.
Yeah, quote-unquote finale.
Yeah, quote-unquote finale. So, but we'll kick things off with My Hero. We are talking about it. So Season 5, Episode 13, how you guys feeling about it?
I did find it funny, since we've mentioned a couple times, this was the moment, which I didn't even realize in the chapters when I was reading, that they addressed the spy.
Yeah, they did finally address the spy. Yep. It's been a hot minute since we've heard that.
The same with Shinso. I completely forgot they had a verdict for him, because I spent this entire time like, what the fuck's happened with him? And they're like, oh yeah, next year you definitely will be in the hero agent or the hero class. And I was like, all right, well, they answered 2 questions in one episode.
Yep. And then this episode, because it was the beginning of this episode where we got to see the interview with Shoto and Bakugo. Mm-hmm. Love that in the manga so much. It's like, oh yeah, you guys look like, really good friends. It's like, oh, well, where'd you get that idea? You need to get your brain checked. And Shoto's like, yes, we are good friends. Yeah. Love that. And then of course Shoto's interview where she's like, Mount Lady's like, oh, your smile would kill people. He's like, if I smile, they'll die. Never change, Shoto. Please just never change.
Never change.
So I mean, overall, because of just like stupid little comedic tidbits like that, this was a great episode. Because these are like the little lighthearted moments that we kind of live for with My Hero Academia. And then of course, like I already mentioned, I think it was the very beginning of this episode, we got the tease for what's to come with Shiggy. That was at the very beginning, right?
Yeah, that was right there at the beginning.
Yeah,
pretty close to the very beginning. You're also leaving out the part where they're throwing the Christmas party at the end, and Ari walks through the door and goes trick or treat.
Yes.
And Oz was just like, that's
wrong holiday.
She literally goes through every holiday possible but Christmas.
Yep.
I
made eggs.
I throw salt at a demon in, demon out.
Yeah.
That's not for a couple months. That was so good.
What I actually really liked about this episode was the comments as it was panning out in the sky after the party and I was thinking very adamantly that we could have a Christmas party like this next year. I went, damn, that hurts now.
Yeah, now that we know where we are. Damn, that hurts.
Yeah.
Because I remember
that foreshadowing.
I remember reading that and going, okay, that seems odd. I'm not sure if I'm going to like what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then next episode, we will get the I think it's next episode, we'll get the scene that I had already talked about with All Might, Deku, and Bakugo, because I know it was already kind of teased in this one where All Might was working. That is next episode, I believe, from what I saw in the preview, and it should be following up with the Endeavor Agency and where we're going to go from there. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how the Endeavor Agency will play out for the anime, but I mean, this was a great episode. This was one of my probably one of my personal favorites for this season, just because of the stupid little comedic bits.
Mm-hmm.
The Bakugo Shoto thing was one of my favorite comedic bits in the manga for a very long time, and it still is. I just think it's a really funny scene because the first thing that I thought of, okay, when I saw that, and you guys will get a kick out of this, listeners won't really have any context. I saw that, and the first thing I thought, me and Diaz. First thing I thought, he's Shoto, I'm Bakugo in that situation. First thing I thought of.
That's pretty funny, actually.
That is.
Yeah, so that's why that moment holds a special place for him, because literally Shoto is him in that case, and I'm Bakugo 100%.
For context for our listeners, Diaz is a friend of ours who lived with Alex for a large amount of time.
Yes.
So they had very similar interactions.
Yes, we did. Very, very similar of what we just saw there. Yes.
So one last note I like about this episode is just seeing everything as a second-hand foreshadowing and stuff,
mm-hmm.
and contrast to what we know now and everything. That episode is a lot better in my mind now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like especially when you think about the interviews of the people.
Yeah.
And everything during that Shigaraki part.
Yep.
Yeah. Where they're like, if you work harder, we'll work harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Now that we know what we now that we've seen what we've seen and everything, that is a good point. What about One Piece 979? How are we faring over there?
Oh man, well we're not faring very good. The last episode,
okay. Shit.
last episode, fantastic. This episode, not so much. I will say this episode was really good solely for the fact that through about 90% of the episode, everyone was telling Kinemon how good of a job he was, like throwing the spy off and all this stuff by like, playing with how they were supposed to go to Tokage port instead of I forgot what the other one.
Hokage.
No, it's Tokage. Anyway, yeah, Hokage port instead of whatever wharf they were supposed to go to, and the entire time Kinemon's just like, I didn't know, I didn't plan this, and everyone's just like, you did such a good job, like misleading everyone. And so for that, it was fantastic. Towards the end, it did get a little better. We got a little more action. We got Luffy and Kid destroying another one of the Beast or Animal Kingdom pirate ships. So that was really nice. But all in all, after last week's episode wasn't a super great episode. Like, it had its moments, but I'll just be excited when we get a little further. I think maybe 2 or 3 more episodes in, when we get to a little more like of the action of the raid.
Okay. Well, what about Dragon Quest? Was Dragon Quest more interesting than One Piece this week? Apparently, One Piece is a little lackluster. Was that Dragon Quest at least okay?
I mean, Dragon Quest was about what I was expecting. Mayhem shows up. She beats the crap out of our villain, who's a Chimera hybrid. He stops her by throwing goo on her hands because she can't use her new skill on anything with her hands. So yeah, that happens. She continues to fight. Eventually, they come up with some plan to. Dai comes up with a plan to take the spotlight and finish him off. Pop gets a little moment to free Mam's hands because a dude who's literally just wearing a sheet over his head goes, "Cast a frizz spell at her." It's like, what? Cast a spell at her. He looks, sees her hands, like, fire. And I mean, it just ends up with a defeat of the villain. Everyone's happy. The villain just... It also very much hints at that everyone has father issues in this series. Because the guy was the son of one of our Legion commanders that's still somehow alive. And he's just like, I always just wanted him to acknowledge me, even in this. And sends his research away about the perfect beings, even after fully well knowing his father does not give a damn about him.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it was about what I expected. Mam shows up, beats crap, gets debuffed. So Dai comes up with a plan to finish off said monster. Monster has a nice little monologue, and we carry on.
So I have a question.
Sup?
Do you just die a little on the inside when you have to watch Dragon Quest every week? Because hearing you talk about it just feels like you're just dying on the inside.
No, not every week. There's a few good episodes here and there, but there's a lot of them just sort of like, Yeah, but what I expected.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like you die a little on the inside whenever you have to watch it.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna talk about Dragon Quest next week because it's a recap episode, and screw that.
Okay, that's fair. So,
You're gonna miss out on all the important details they put in the recap episode, though.
that's true.
I'm gonna do Alex's thing of skip, skip, skip. That's interesting. Skip, skip, skip.
I have done that, yeah. With Yashahime is the prime example where I'm just watching on my phone, just tapping the 15 seconds forward a whole time. We're just like, okay, got it. Stop for a couple minutes. All right, cool. Keep going. All right, done with the episode. Let's keep it moving. So, I don't know. I'll be very curious if we get an actual episode count for Dragon Quest sometime in the near future, because as of now there is still not a count. So you're just stuck with it.
Because as far as I can tell from that opening, that's literally the same music, only changed pictures. We still have at least possibly 5, maybe 6 villains. Then the head honcho.
Jesus Christ.
Also, Hadlar's coming back big and buff, so we got to deal with him a third time.
Can I throw out, I think Shonen Jump, tweeted something out the other day with a bunch of, their characters on it had, Luffy and Naruto and Goku, and it had Dai on it.
Yes.
And I could only imagine they put Dai on it because it's just we're going to revive Dragon Quest and make 1,000 more episodes.
Yeah, I think I saw what you were talking about, Josh. They did, yeah. What about Tokyo Revengers episode 11? How are you guys feeling about that? We're about to hit Bloody Halloween coming up here very soon. We've already seen the promotional poster for it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep. So,
I really like that poster.
That was a good poster. Showcased a couple characters we haven't really got to see, yet so far. But what did you guys think of episode 11? Just kind of finishing up where we were with Battle of 8-3. What did you guys think about it? Actually, we'll kick things off with Josh. Josh, what did you think about it? As someone who hasn't, read the content, how did you feel about this episode?
I really liked it. It was a good, kind of a wrap up episode of, I guess, his mission to change the future by changing the past. And, it was I don't know. It was kind of emotional, when you saw, Takemichi looking for Mikey, and Mikey's just there crying, I'm so glad you're alive. Don't do something stupid like that ever again. In reference to, Draken almost dying. Just for context, he went into cardiac arrest in the ambulance, so they weren't sure what was going to happen to him. But it was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. It was probably my favorite episode of the week.
Right. We also got to see Draken, give Takemichi Mikey's jacket whenever they formed the gang.
Yeah.
Got to see that, and got to see a little moment where Takemichi thinks he's the most baddest dude on the planet.
Yeah.
And Draken knocks him down a few pegs. Takemichi's just like, no one looks up to me. Let me have this.
He's like, that's the saddest thing anyone's ever yelled.
It's did you really just yell that? That's sort of depressing.
That's sort of absolutely pathetic, but okay, man.
I like how the actual delinquents both called him out. There was Drax the hell you wearing? And then Mikey's what are you wearing?
He's like, what is wrong with you? We also got a moment with Mikey where he basically was just like, Takemichi, what the hell are you? Where you had that moment, but then Mikey just kind of let it go, where he's just like, well, Draken's alive, so we'll call it good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's like, but what are you wearing? Yeah. It was also nice, seeing him go into seeing Takemichi go back into the future and being like, I guess it was all just a dream. I was just daydreaming. And sees a scar on his hand. Was like, wait, it was fucking real.
It's like, wait.
And then, he has that appointment at the salon and goes in there, and it's Akun, and he's like a hairdresser now or whatever. And he asked Takemichi to be his first customer because Takemichi was like, follow your dreams and I'll be your first customer. And that was such a feel-good moment.
Yeah, it was. Next episode won't be, though.
I bet it won't.
See, I was just going to leave it as a surprise.
You're just like, no.
Well, let's be real, but, I didn't say why. But let's also point out.
You've already
hold on.
ruined it.
Let's point out the fact that when this episode comes out, that episode will be out. So...
I liked the episode overall. I enjoyed his first time going back after completing his mission. And just as Josh was saying, those things of, why am I here? My scar. My God. Akun remembered their promise.
Yep.
Then he gets that call right at the end from Naoto of just, let's go see her.
Yeah.
I do like the concept of just when he does go back to the future, literally the only one who registers it is Naoto.
Yep.
And he's
Yeah.
completely accepting of it. I just
You're
want
"You're
to
back."
know what that aspect for him does. Like is he wherever he is and just blinks and then he's somewhere else and goes,
What the hell?
what happened?
Yeah, because the phone call was literally just like, "You're back, huh? You changed it. You succeeded. Let's go see my sister." I'm like, how does he know though?
Yeah.
Was he just like in his bathroom, like taking a dump? And he's like, "This isn't my bathroom anymore."
Yes. Oh, that would be fantastic. Can we get like a little spin-off, like short, like 10 chapters of just him realizing that Takemichi's back? That'd be great. I would love to see that. Just all of the interactions of, it's like, oh shit, okay, all right, where am I now?
That's literally my whole question I've always had every time when Takemichi goes from the past to the future. What happens to Naoto?
Yes. Yes.
Because like Naoto is always aware, but he's not always in the same spot each time Takemichi likes to come back. So it's funny.
Yeah. Like, just imagine him come back and like just doing something random, and someone's like, "Sir, this is a Wendy's."
And you know, us talking about this, it actually just now prompted a question in my head that I cannot ask here on the show, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask you when we're done recording because it involves Naoto, and I just thought of something involving all the time travel stuff. We're going back and forth, but let's go over from there. Let's talk about 86. The season finale. We got a bonus episode coming out this Saturday, and then we are confirmed for a season 2. I did see this from the official Twitter for the 86 anime. They're going to be and from the sound of it, we'll get a season 2 this year, folks. Like, it's coming soon. Like, they're going to take a few months break from what I understand, from what I saw, and then this fall we'll get 86 part 2 is essentially what we're getting. So that's very exciting. How do you guys feel about the finale for 86? I mean, this was an episode, man. There was that cliffhanger is brutal. That cliffhanger is brutal. So I'm glad we're getting the next season, part 2. I'm glad we're getting it very quickly. But what did you guys think about it?
I mean, it was absolutely fantastic.
True.
I mean, I was sort of surprised that it did stick with Spearhead because I expected with how the series has gone the entire time we get a flip to Major Waifu.
Lena.
And so it was interesting to see that they stuck with Spearhead and continued them. It actually picked up right off where the last episode ended on 30th, showing us the actual fight that happened.
Yep.
And just how screwed of a position they are in.
Oh, yeah, brutally.
Yeah. Fucking Fido being the best Fido ever.
Thrive until the end.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, this episode plays out with Spearhead just kind of facing the facts that, hey, we're running low on stuff. You know, we're going to probably be kind of screwed. They've only got one Juggernaut left, and right now they're just taking turns on who pilots, and they've got the understanding that whoever's pilots gets to fight. So we had a moment where Anju was piloting, and Shin's like, "Here, I'll pilot." So I'm bored. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever, man. Sure, you're bored, whatever. He pilots, immediately lets them go from the little trailer he's pulling, blows some rocks, keep them back. He's just like, the rule was whoever is piloting gets to fight, right? Goes off to fight this giant army of, the Legion. They all try to come help with the standard rifles, which is going to do shit to them. And now we're left with such a massive cliffhanger of what the hell's happening with everyone? What's everyone's status? We got the hell of a cliffhanger at the end of the episode, like the post credits with Shin and his brother. So lots of questions that I need answers for immediately. Because me knowing a little bit that I know of the light novel, obviously, we can. We know how Shonen goes. Like, I don't feel like this is a massive spoiler. These people aren't dead. Like, it's Shonen. They're not dead, man. It's part 1. There's multiple light novels. Like, come on, let's be real.
For as far as you're aware, we follow different people.
Yes.
Because in this episode, it was Lena actually shows up at the base and talks to the guy who runs their little shop, and actually shows the new Spearhead squad getting pictures, and he was actually come to see the people next for execution.
Yeah, basically. The episode ended off with her and had a nice little moment where she found like basically a letter to her.
It was literally the picture they drew of her.
Yeah. The pig. Yep. But no, I mean, this is a great episode, man. This series itself has been phenomenal. If you have not watched it yet, please go do so. I did notice the English dub is now starting to release, so if you are a dub fan, you can now start go watching that on Crunchyroll. Episode 1 was out when I last saw it last weekend, so you can go start checking that out. And I did also see that it's starting to come out in other dubs as well. So
yeah, there's like Portuguese and stuff.
Yep.
Since we skipped over me now, I was just gonna say it was a really good episode.
I was gonna circle back.
Oh well, damn! I didn't know. You sound like you were wrapping it up. No, I mean
no.
it was a good episode. Had it not been for the singer at the end that said, both like special episode.
Yep.
I don't know how I would have made it because the cliffhanger on this episode would have fucking murdered me the way it ended, and just like that final scene of Shin just laying there with like his head like scribbled out in red. I was like, what the fuck?
Yes.
It was exhausting.
Yes.
Yeah, to give full context for people, if you care about how this ends at this point, and you haven't somehow watched it, skip like 4 minutes ahead now. So pretty much it ends. Yeah, Shin has a little spiritual moment with his brother who's passed, who's reading a book, drops it and becomes a Skull Knight, takes his hand in this spiritual moment towards a window, and as they walk away to this window, it pans down to see Shin's body with the scratching out and red like it's shown several times of his brothers throughout the series, just making him go, well, shit.
Yeah.
Also, backing up a little bit, when the long range like ballistics start firing down and Shin hears that voice, like I forgot exactly what it says, but like, I won't let you dirty animals like harm the princess and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That also got me like, what the fuck is actually going on here?
I assumed that was the next antagonist, and he was sort of one of the first that led to the Legion taking brains, because it sounded like he was a loyalist of the princess of that kingdom before it fell.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it kind of has me questioning, like, if they take your brain, because the way it's kind of been like led up to is like, when they take your brain, Shin can hear like their last words.
Yeah.
But like with Shin's brother, his brother actually like could like he thought for himself and like could actually do stuff. So are there other like, I guess they're shepherds or whatever out there that do have their own like will, or are they just brains and machines that are like, all right, go kill these people?
Well, from what I got from seeing it, I'm getting it's either, I don't know if it's based on the machine that they're put in, because maybe we'll find that out in the next season, but speculation-wise, it seems almost like depending on how strong of a will the person may have had, keeps either their last dying objectives or wishes or just their last dying thoughts, depending. Because Shin's brother's last thing was he wanted to protect his brother and he failed, so it became his obsession to protect his brother, which is why he went so hard on trying to capture Shin. What it seems from this guy is his last obsession was to protect the princess from anything and everything, because I guess some bad shit happened in that country besides the Legion.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to actually getting a chance to explore that more, because I really just want to know what the hell is going on over there that prompted everything that we've gotten to this point.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so pumped for part 2. Now that I know that part 2 is coming this fall, I think that is now my number one thing that I'm pumped for. Even going over Shield Hero Season 2. Because Shield Hero Season 2, man, it's gonna be dope content from what I've read for sure. But man, 86 Part 2, that is what I am tuned in for right now. Let's go. That is what I want. God, it's such a great series. If you guys haven't started watching it, please watch it, man. This has been such a special treat for this spring season, because this was one of those series that I had no clue even existed. I'm just looking forward to, like, what's coming out in the spring for maybe me to try out. And that's how I found 86. That's how I found Tokyo. And now 2 of my favorite series that I've been watching recently. Definitely check out 86, guys.
From the way you're gushing about this, it almost sounds like we're going to have a bonus cast coming up soon, or a spoiler cast.
Hey, you never know.
I assure you, Josh, it's just going to be him. You and me won't be involved. He'll just
That's
be
the
in
way
here
it
by
sounds.
himself, just breathing heavily, looking at a book.
It's like,
Yes, 86. It's almost like how with every bonus cast, I find a way to always mention Kaito Hitman Reborn. And now I feel like the ongoing meme, the new meme, thanks to John with Lighthearted Gamers, that I will always find a way to mention Mass Effect. Every time. Now it's my goal to always mention Mass Effect. Oh, damn it. I forgot to plug Diablo Immortal last episode.
I never say anything in hopes you constantly forget.
I hate you. You're the worst co-host ever.
I am the best co-host because I don't have to hear you mention that and hit that stupid button. So
fuck you. Let me have this. All right. Well, I'm going to start making a little note at the beginning of every script. Diablo Immortal. Find a place for it. I don't know what it's going to be, but find a place for it.
I think you need to put a poll on our Twitter and see if the fans even care about Diablo Immortal.
Hey, Diablo Immortal is going to be a fun game.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's going to win Mobile Game of the Year. That's a fact.
All right.
All right,
sounds like your stance on Sonic the Hedgehog being movie of the year for 2020.
Also, shout out to Sonic's 30th birthday. Shout out to that.
I don't know why I do anything anymore.
Shout out to that. Shout out to the fact that I share a birthday with Sonic. It's truly an honor. It's truly an honor to share a birthday with such an iconic character that's given us some of the greatest games in history, like Sonic 06, Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, and Sonic Forces. Just shout out, man. Shout out. I will say,
see, it sounds like sarcasm, but I know it's all true, like from the bottom of your heart. I see your room.
Why? Why are you putting that one up?
Because we're having tech issues.
We're not having tech issues.
Everything that comes out of your mouth is apparently Sonic now.
Fuck off.
By the way, while we're like in the middle of this Sonic rant, Alex, did you see the Sonic mac and cheese?
Yes.
Where someone put the Sonic G.
Yes.
I legit thought that was.
No. Why would I ever do that?
Because you love Sonic, and I figured you wanted people to like be like, "Hey, this dude here like Sonic."
No, I did not mix Sonic G Fuel with mac and cheese. Thank you.
All right.
Also, I want to give a shout out to they had the Sonic 30th like musical musical thing. I listened to a decent portion of that today while driving back and forth through work. That was actually really good.
I mean, the bit they showed during their little conference on E3 sounded very good, so I assumed it was going to be exceptional. Yeah,
if you're a Sonic fan, make sure to go check that out. I mean, it's about 2 hours, so watch it and listen to it in bits or whatever. But man, it was really good from what I listened to. There was a couple of nice guest singers, like Nate Wants to Battle. He sang he sang a few songs, but yeah, definitely go check that out. But now we'll go back to anime. Yeah, I know everyone just clicked off the episode now. If you're still here, hey, what's up? Hey, don't worry, Zach, because we got Lighthearted Gamers where I'm going to talk a lot about Sonic.
Oh, God damn it.
Wait till he finds out about the anime Sonic X.
I do know about Sonic X.
Oh, God.
Yep.
I just created a new bonus cast.
I do know about Sonic X. Yeah. I mean, we do have Sonic Prime coming out like next year or something.
All right, man.
But yeah, Sonic X, man. I know about that show.
Here's the joke, people. Both of those series are actually out. So yeah, if you actually want to go watch it, you can.
Gotta go faster. Sonic X. Fuck you. All right, To Your Eternity, episode 11. Zach, what did you think about it? I thought this was a really good, like, wholesome episode.
It was a nice episode.
It was, man. Very nice episode. Very wholesome. And then I love the ending.
The ending fucking broke me.
The ending was so good, but I'm with you. Like I've said before, this series can like break me and rebuild me in the same episode. It's just in this case, it was reverse, where it's just like it just built me up all episode and then just broke me at the end.
Like it was such a good episode we had the whole. So we're now 4 years later after the events that happened with them being attacked in the forest. Fushi hasn't changed form at all in the 4 years. That's why he has aged.
Yep.
And we get a good moment of Gugu addressing his brother. His brother comes and finds him.
True.
And talks to Gugu, and Gugu more or less tells him,
fuck off.
Yeah, go away. Don't take anything else from me. Rim finally finds out about Gugu and things he hasn't told her about. The fact that he's the boy that she gave a ring to way back when.
Yep.
And that towards the end that he was the one he was there at that moment in time when she got her scar. She had no idea why she got her scar. She just knew she fell over. And now she's getting a full picture of everything.
Yep. Finally getting that reveal that, he was the one that saved her life, and she didn't even know her life was saved, like you said. So that was a very good end of this episode. And, I'm glad we did get some clarification on the aging thing because, from everything that I've seen from like just manga panels, promotional art, the opening, Fushi doesn't age. So when he aged last episode, kind of a surprise, kind of caught me and you both off guard a little bit. And I'm glad we got the clarification on how and why he aged. And I feel like that also answers another question that I have is, so when he transforms again and he goes back to the nameless boy, I guess he's going to go back to how he originally looked. That's my assumption. I don't think he's going to go back to looking how he does right now. You know what I mean? That's how I think it'll play out. Because every promotional thing I've seen, it's the one that we know of the nameless boy. So I'm glad we did get that little bit of clarification from our god or whoever he is, where that's why Fushi did age, and I imagine he'll probably transform next episode. He probably won't have much of a choice, and then by the time he transforms back into the boy, it'll be back to how he looked years ago. That's my guess. We'll see if I'm right or wrong on that, but that's my guess. But no, it was a great episode. It really was. It's a shame we only have 8 more episodes, because it is confirmed for 20. So, all right. So then next up we have Eden Zero episode 11. Zach, what do you think about it? Got the actual introduction to Sister.
I forgot that both the sisters have to strip down to do their skills and whatnot.
Yep.
And I was very confused when we turned into a BDSM club.
With Hero, nothing surprises me. Especially not with Eden Zero.
It was an okay episode.
Yeah, it was.
We got the introduction of the actual sister and got to see Shiki use his gravity bullets that we will never see again.
It's true.
I saw him use that. I was like, that was a thing.
Yep. I had the same reaction when he did it. I was like, fuck, I forgot that was a thing. I completely forgot he ever did that. And, I will say when it comes to Eden Zero, this is a series that I am a big fan of, and I wish I could gush about it more. But there's just and the honest to God truth is there's not much to gush about at this time. The big plus is it looks phenomenal.
Yes.
The music is great. The voice acting is fantastic. These are the big takeaways right now. Because as we continue to move forward, we're gonna keep the content level is gonna keep on getting better and better. So I'm really excited to see where this season is going to end, because this one's also confirmed for, I think, 25. So I'm very curious where this one's going to end, because I know next is going to be the stuff with Hermit, correct? I know we talked about this last week. So are we going to get the stuff with Valkyrie?
Yes, I would. From what I'm getting, feeling and everything, this first season is going to be literally just the stars.
Okay.
It's what I get. So I feel like we'll get everything wrapped up with all the shining stars and him collecting his crew. It might lead into him dealing with that one group that's there in the Sakura Cosmos, but other than that, I don't think it'll go deep into that.
Yeah, I don't think it will either. Season 2 is going to be incredible, though. No doubt.
I feel like Season 2 would be that organization plus leading into Howie. Is that the second Cosmo?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But it was a fine episode. Nothing massively to take away. The content right now is still just early series content.
Yeah.
It doesn't blow anything out of the water. But like I said, main takeaways for people that are waiting perhaps for the Netflix version: phenomenal animation, love the soundtrack, absolutely adore the soundtrack, and the voice acting is just on point. So there's a lot to look forward to for Eden Zero right now. And then finishing things up with Seven Deadly Sins, Season 4, Episode 24, the finale.
Free.
I'm free. I no longer have to watch this every single week. And I like Seven Deadly Sins a lot, but man, it feels good to be done with it in terms of the anime. Feels good to be done with it. This was just a nice little wrap up. Where's all the sins at? You finally got to see Meliodas' kid at the end. We have a 1 year time skip, and then we have a multi-year time skip where you get to see the kid and everything, and just that whole meme that Meliodas created for his kid, where his kid's under this giant impression that Meliodas is going to destroy the kingdom, because his kid doesn't know about the 7 deadly sins, and he finds out about them, and he thinks they're still an evil group, and his dad just didn't tell him just to fuck with him, which I do love that little moment, and I wanted to shout it out because even Bond has a moment right there. He's like, damn, I wish I would have done that with my kid. So that was funny. I mean, it was a fine, warm-hearted ending to the series. And I will say, rewatching this and seeing the different tidbits I've seen over the stuff with all this chaos stuff, it does kind of put things more into clarity for perhaps where we're going with Four Knights of the Apocalypse manga.
Do you get a shot of Percival at all?
No Percival in this. So, but I mean, it was fun. It was fun. That's all I can really say about it. It was the ending of the series. It was okay. It was favorite episode of the week. What you guys got?
To Your Eternity.
I respect that a lot.
I'm gonna go 86.
I gotta go 86. I got to, man. It was so damn good.
I mean, 86 was good. That would definitely be my second. It's just To Your Eternity. It's that last shot was just, god dang it.
Yeah, it was. And if it wasn't for 86, To Your Eternity would have been my favorite for sure. Probably followed by My Hero just because of the funny stuff with Shoto. But yeah, 86 for sure, man. Such a great series. Please go watch it. All right, let's go over to our chapter ratings for the week and finish up the show beautifully. I will say I do have a 10. I got a 10 this week.
Before we start this, we need to jump back a little bit about the Me and Roboco and Jujutsu Kaisen thing. I just found out that every volume of Me and Roboco is a reference to another manga. Because volume 2 was a direct copy of a One Piece volume cover. Volume 3 is Promised Neverland, and Volume 1 is Doorman. Like, I found a tweet with like all of them side by side, the original one that they're parodying, which is hilarious to me. Sorry.
I mean, I'm not really surprised because it is a comedy manga.
Yeah.
Yeah. I respect so much what they're doing over there. And I'll be honest, I may never read it. I will say I did try one day where I read it for probably only about six pages. I got it and then I had to go do something else. It's not because it didn't interest me. I legitimately had to go do something else, and I just haven't gone back to it. But man, I respect so much what they're doing over there, and it's going to be a damn shame if that series ever gets axed. Please don't ever get axed, Me and Roboco. Please. I got to be here for the memes.
I mean, I feel like at this point, even if it does get axed, it's going to live on for quite a few years of just its memes.
Yes, it will never truly die. All right, now let's do the manga chapter ratings for the week. All right, so One Piece was on a break. So first up, we have My Hero Academia at 317.
8.
Okay.
Is this your 10?
I'll give it an 8.
This is my 10.
There it is.
Yep, this is my 10.
Yeah, do it.
This is a 10 to me. This is easily a 10. And I know like nothing like over the top happened in this chapter, but at the same time, so much happened in this chapter. Okay? So much. Like when it comes to this whole arc, all right, let's talk about the war arc very briefly. The war arc did a few things phenomenally, right? Great action, character development, reveals, some loss. They handled all that incredibly, right? What this arc is doing is taking on a unique take for My Hero Academia. Okay, it's not a unique take for obviously anime in general, but for My Hero Academia, the stuff that it has done in this arc is unique to My Hero. Where when I read this, there was like 3 just really key things that stuck out to me in this chapter, where it's just like because this whole arc really takes in my opinion, a pretty heavy focus on like mental health, right? That's a big focus of this arc. I feel like where in terms of like where's everyone's mindset on things. We had a very sad moment with a certain hero. That's not like a mainstream hero for the series, but it's one of the OGs that we know. That was a very sad little panel. And then, the whole stuff with Deku and All Might, man, just full circle is what that was. Because All Might kind of had the same situation many years ago. Everything about this chapter did really well because, when I read this chapter, I was just completely just blown away again by how much this arc has done so well on putting the mental health of all of our characters on show. And I will say, afterwards, I did see some tweets where some more pages that we follow was also doubling down, where it's just how much they have focused on with like the stress, like just the rage everyone's feeling, and just where the heroes stand in the world of things. This arc, this chapter is just doing all of this so well. And I will say the next chapter, I've seen some leaks, looks phenomenal. Can't wait for the next chapter and the chapter after that. This arc is incredible. It really is, because of how unique it is to My Hero Academia and the different themes it's taken on. Easy 10 for me. I know we didn't really have like some big reveal or some kick-ass fight or anything, but dude, just the stuff that it did show was incredible content for My Hero. And I will die on this hill about that. That is a 10.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Thank you, Zach, for giving me the full screen so I can go on my monologue about that.
I mean, you started on this crap, and I went, I just might as well switch. It's gonna be a moment.
I appreciate you. I've had that built up for days. I wanted to talk about it as spoiler-free as I could. I dived a little too much, but, I tried to keep it pretty loose. But great chapter, man. That's a 10. That is a 10. All right, what about Black Clover 296?
7.
I give that one an 8.
Yeah, 7 sounds good.
So here's my thing with Black Clover. I feel disconnected to it at this point in time because we've had so many splits in such an important time in the manga where, I mean, the chapters themselves aren't losing any intensity. It's just there's there's like several weeks of lead time that make me go, I'm not as invested right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like once all this is out, it'll be a lot better just reading through it as a binge.
Yeah,
that's fair.
See, I have the exact opposite problem because, like, I'm used to having that many splits. Like, One Piece does it a lot.
Yeah.
But, like, my thing was, like, what we had before with, like, Magna, I'm fucking up his name. Anyway, when
Magna? Magna?
Yeah, Magna. I don't know why I couldn't say it. With, like, Magna coming in after not being seen forever and, like, having this awesome new, like, ability, like, that was awesome. And then now we're something like I 100% expect to happen, and I'm not as interested because like I fully expect it to happen. That's my problem.
Yeah, I could see
with
that
like
as well.
this chapter. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that because I have seen some people complain about how the pacing has been in terms of our three main characters. They just back to back to back, same predictable type of situation. So I can see what you're saying, Josh. I get that.
I mean, predictable. I never got to see my freaking Golden Dawn Vice Commander chapter.
That's true.
I mean, yeah.
That was such a poorly named chapter.
That was such a tease.
Right, so it literally, was on the first page, and that's it. And the chapter was literally titled after. I'm like, come on, man. All right, what about Dr. Stone 201?
My bullshit scale's going higher.
Fair. I gave it a 7.
I'd give it an 8. I enjoyed it.
7.
I'll just give it a bullshit, Zach says. Mission Yosakura Family, Chapter 87. I'd give this one an 8. Another good, wholesome chapter here. Undead Unluck, Chapter 68. I'd give this one a 9. Very good chapter here. Fuko really starting to stand up. And as I saw some people joke, Fuko's being a Chad because Fuko's laying down the law and things. Mashal, Chapter 67.
I'll give it an 8.
I give this one a 9, personally. This is a really good chapter. This whole arc's been great.
Yeah,
It's been good.
9's really good for this one.
Next up, Sakamoto Days, Chapter 28.
I'll give it an 8.
I gave it an 8 as well.
I still haven't caught up on Sakamoto Days.
Yeah, you should probably get on that, huh?
Yeah, I probably should.
All right, Elusive Samurai, Chapter 21. I gave this one an 8.
I give it a 9.
That's fair. I almost gave it a 9.
I give it a 9 because of those shots towards the end.
Yeah.
With our hero of just going, he's a freak.
Yeah. yeah. I almost put up a meme about that where it's just like when you discover a new fetish where it's his first face after he cuts him and he's like super excited. He's like blushing a little bit. It's just like when you first discover a new fetish.
I love that line that the guy's like, why'd I get a chill?
Yeah. No, I almost gave it a 9. I'm giving it a 9. It was a good chapter, man. It was really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. ITLC Chapter 20, I'd give this one a 6. Witch Watch Chapter 19. I gave it a 5.
I still don't know how I feel about Witch Watch because we are very obviously missing something.
Yes, we are. It's to the point where I'm going to be honest, I might drop it soon, especially since, I feel like Red Hood and Martial Arts Nero could possibly get my attention. Witch Watch is going to potentially hit the can for me, man. I don't like, I had a couple good funny chapters that really kind of pulled me in, but I'm with you. We are massively the minority here, man.
I mean, I like this chapter more than the others, so I give it a 7, just because I felt like the little segment story it felt a lot more fuller to me, and just everything going on with it versus some of the other weird ones, like the Invisible Crapper.
True.
That one was I had nothing with this one. This one seemed like more of a very wholesome and interesting chapter.
What about Ball Parade, Chapter 18? I gave it a 6.
5.
Fair. Blue Box, Chapter 10?
8.
I gave it an 8, too. Candy Flurry, Chapter 9?
3 fouls, 2 strikes. Fully loaded.
Fair. I gave it a 7. Our Protect Savage, though.
Candy Flare is the one I'm seeing now, though a lot of people are saying is going to be the next one to be axed. And it's the same people that called Bill King, ISLC, and A Gravity Boys. So I don't know how you guys feel about it.
It's disappointing, man. This type of series I feel like had a lot of potential, and I still feel like it could, but it wouldn't surprise me necessarily if it would get axed.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah. I'm glad Blue Box is, from what I understand, doing pretty well, because Blue Box is actually pretty solid. I'm actually really enjoying that one. So Dragon Ball Super, Chapter 73, it's that time again, that time of the month. I'd give it an 8. It was a decent chapter of just good Dragon Ball fighting. And, of course, as Dragon Ball does, great setup for the next part of the fight of Vegeta, which will go probably pretty well, and then get his ass kicked, as it always does. Very, very predictable.
Is Vegeta the new Krillin in Super?
I wouldn't go that far, but it's
Vegeta's the new Vegeta.
Vegeta's just Vegeta, man. It's the same thing as always, where it's like, and we came so close with the Moro arc of Vegeta, like really being like the guy almost, but it's still the same. It's the same shit every single time. Where
since the Frieza saga,
where Vegeta
Let's
will
be real.
Since Frieza, well, he'll have a moment, whatever. He'll look like a badass, and then he'll just get his shit wrecked. It's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be the same thing. He said here at the end of this chapter, "Oh no, the Saiyans aren't gonna be the ones to die today. The Cerealans are gonna be the one to die today," and that's how the chapter ended.
Oh god dang it! I forgot the enemies were called friggin' Cerealans.
Yep, Cerealans. Our guy's named Granola. Yep.
All until one of them's like, just let me eat my box of Wheaties and see how strong I can get. Then Vegeta's like, all right, I'll wait.
Basically.
That's how it's going to go. That's how it always goes.
Yep. Goku got beat in this chapter, as that's how Super has been recently. As Goku gets beat, Vegeta comes in, Vegeta does pretty well, Vegeta gets beat, Goku comes back, Goku wins. That's how this shit goes. That's how this shit goes every time.
Ow, my big brother's gonna beat you up. Oh no, I'm gonna fight for my big brother.
So I mean, it's just so predictable. Now, don't get me wrong, Granola is not the antagonist of this arc. Okay, so it's not like this. It's gonna.
I mean, it's packed with fiber.
Fuck you. It wouldn't surprise me if we get a character named Fiber or something. But he's not like he's the antagonist. We have our antagonist kind of like in place, right? And it's just been kind of set up where it's just like, where Granola's being tricked, Goku and Vegeta are being tricked, to thinking that they're the both the villains they have to beat. That's kind of how it's set up. So it's not like it's going to end here in the next few chapters, next couple months. That's how I should put it, because of the traditional layout. But I mean, that's just how it's going to be. Like, I'm not even excited for the next chapter of Dragon Ball Super, because it's going to be, oh cool, Vegeta's going to look a badass for a total of one chapter, and then chapter 75 he's going to get his shit knocked into the ground.
Now, watch you not read the next chapter, and it's the one where Vegeta goes like fucking Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan Blue 2, like.
And still
whatever.
Wrecked.
He's already given up on going Ultra Instinct. Yeah, he's already given up on that path, because he's being trained with Beerus, so he's going down like the path of the God of the Destruction, whatever. But can't
the Gods of Destruction do Ultra Instinct too? So wouldn't that be something he'd need to learn? Like This is not my Vegeta right here. My Vegeta doesn't give up.
No,
My
yeah.
Vegeta lets Cell eat the androids so he can like.
No, Vegeta essentially literally said he's not going to mess with Ultra Instincts. Like, that's not my thing. Kakarot can have that. I'm going to do my own thing. That's basically,
like,
what he said.
He was basically like, Ultra Instincts for little bitches.
Yes. Yes, that is exactly right. He's like, Ultra Instincts for bitches. I'm going to do my own thing. And then Beerus starts training him. That's essentially what happened. So, I mean, I give it an 8 just because it gives you some good Dragon Ball style action, but it's still just like, it's just so damn predictable. Like, it is what it is, man. Boruto chapter 59. Not a whole lot happened in this chapter, honestly, for us to have to wait for a month for this. You get introduced to another new antagonist, which is like a 10-year-old kid who can just beat the living shit out of anyone. So now we have like a total of like, I think 3 new main antagonists to deal with. Okay. And now it's like we're getting almost on like a god level tier, like it's just speeding up super quickly, more than we already were. So now like basically Naruto and Sasuke look like a couple of bitches.
So wait, is Boruto having to fight people that's on the level of the enemies Naruto fought at the end?
Yeah. Yeah, like these new antagonists, man, they make they make them look like nothing. Like Kaguya, she ain't nothing. She's nothing, man, compared to these new guys.
She was literally the creator of the universe.
She's part of the race that does that.
Bullshit.
Exactly.
Actually,
exactly.
From what I know, yeah, that makes sense now.
Yes, she's part of the race that does that.
I mean, it makes sense, but yeah.
Basically, when it comes to Kaguya, there's Kaguya, and then there's the other one, which I'm drawing a blank on his name because he's been one of the more primary.
Bakuya?
No, fuck you. Where he's been one of the.
Why'd I get an F bomb for that one?
Where he's become one of the more focused here for Boruto, where Jigen's kind of his host, which Jigen's now been introduced in the Boruto anime, by the way. And from what I've seen, Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen is people are raving about how great this fight is. So I'm gonna have to stop and actually watch that episode here soon. I pop into Boruto very randomly.
Can I ask? With the way this is going, where like Sasuke and Naruto look like little bitches now, and like Boruto's, are like Sasuke and Naruto gonna like run back to like revive Madara and be like, bro, we need your help?
That would be some shit. That would be some shit. Oh man, yeah, and it's speaking of them being bitch, I've seen some people comment online like when it comes to, like this fight that was just animated in Boruto, like literally I think 2 weeks ago or the last new episode was the Naruto Sasuke Jigen fight. Everyone's just like, man, my man Sasuke, he's got this Rinnegan and he just looks like a bitch. Like he's not doing anything. And then, well, let's point out, people, like the Rinnegan's cool and all when you're using it against like other shinobi. But they're fighting gods. Like, this is very different. Now, the Rinnegan doesn't do shit on these people, like, at all. Like, the Rinnegan's, like, it helps out. It's handy, but it's not a tool of destruction for this race and everything. Because these are, like, literal gods from, like, another planet or some shit.
They see the Rinnegan and, like, why are you staring at me?
Yeah, basically. Like, it's not even a factor. So, the series, man, I don't even know the scaling on this series anymore. I don't know. I mean, I will say it keeps being teased. It keeps being teased that coming soon in the manga, we're going to get our time skip, which I figured was probably the case with how the last like big thing went down, the last big fight and everything. So we should be getting that sometime soon. I'll give it a 7, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7. My bad.
The time skip is that Shin's been going to Orochimaru being like, please revive everyone. We need everyone, please.
Yes. Basically, they probably would with what they have coming. That little kid, man, he can wreck some shit. Kaiju number 8, chapter 38. What did you guys feel like on that one? I gave it an 8, personally.
I'll give it an 8. It was really good.
8.
Kaiju number 38 gets an 8. Cool. Tokyo Avengers, chapter 211. I gave this one a 7. For one, it felt very, very short. I wish we could have got a little bit more out of it.
All the chapters lately have felt really short.
Yeah. I give it a 7, though.
I'll give it a 7.
Eden 0148. Give it a 7.
7.
7 Deadly Sins, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, chapter 21. Give that one an 8. Ranger Reject, chapter 18. Give that one a 7. God of High School, 520.
7.
I give it a 9.
I don't know. It just okay. Actually, I take that back. I take it at 8. The build up and everything was real good, but I don't know. The end just felt I mean, it was expected, but I went.
It was expected. Mori finally making his entrance, his late entrance as per normal. No, I gave it a 9 just because I love the pacing of this chapter where it really felt like failure. You know what I mean? Like you really got to see the failure and just feel the failure throughout the whole chapter. Because the one line that really stuck out to me, the whole thing stuck out. But the kid, where it's like, did Dad fail? And then Mom's just like, everyone hold hands. I was just like, damn. It's like, God damn. Yeah, I give it a 9. Solo leveling, we don't know what is going on with solo leveling. It's once again on a break, and this is due to health issues. The creator's been having some recently, and there is no time frame on if we're going to get a chapter next week or week after, but just whenever they're able. So T's and P's there. Hopefully, they can get back up to par, and we, hopefully get chapters again when they're feeling able. We don't want anyone to push themselves just to give us content. There's tons of other content on the planet that we can always go check out,
like Overgeared.
And Mage and Demon Queen,
which came back.
Season 3, baby.
I saw that and went, well, Alex is happy.
That's right. I got 4 chapters come out. Had a great time yesterday reading them. Love me some Mage and Demon Queen. Good series. Week Hero 143.
I give it a 6 because it wasn't that great of a chapter, but I did like the point of where they're going with Donald and Gray.
That is true. And for that, I give it a 7. What about El Cid 117?
8.
All right. Well, what's you guys' favorite chapter of the week? Mine's pretty clear. I spent like 5 minutes talking about it.
Yeah.
If you say anything other than that, we would be surprised.
My favorite chapter is Blue Box. No, favorite chapter is Elusive Samurai because he discovered he had a new fetish.
Actually, my favorite chapter is actually Elusive Samurai.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It was great. Just his whole flip.
Yeah, that was really funny. What about you, Josh?
I'm gonna go with Mashle.
That's fair and respectable. I love that color page, by the way.
It was a good color
page. Or like a fight screen. That was fantastic. I knew you would enjoy that. You're a big fighting game fan. But all right, that's gonna do it for this episode.
In case no one get it, his favorite chapter, Alex, is My Hero. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, I gave it a 10. So, but yeah, that's it for today's episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Went on a lot of monologues today. I feel like, but that's fine.
We went a little long, but oh well.
Yeah.
Nobody listened to previous episodes, so.
It's true.
Double down.
It's true. Got to double down. All right, Josh, you got that inspirational speech lined up for me? What you got?
Oh, you know what? I'm still working on it. I'll have it. You know what? You don't even have to do it next week because I know it'll be ready in about 2 years. So we'll just come back around 2 years from now.
You don't need to say that, Josh, because in 2 years he will drop that on you.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. I at least have 2 years to come up with some bullshit. He does.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I'll make sure to ask every single week just how it's going. How's that?
Okay, sounds good.
Yep. All right. So no speech from Josh. That's disappointing. But in other news, Zach, you got anything? Do you have a speech?
I mean, just my usual spiel of
okay, that's fair.
Please like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help if you are watching this on YouTube and you like whatever's going on. Like, comment, and maybe hit that subscribe if you like it. And if you hit that subscribe and actually want to know when we upload things, you can hit the bell to show up in your feed. Thank you.
Now, see, Josh, that's a speech. That's a speech.
That wasn't even a speech.
You need to take some lessons here. Pull out a
Those
notepad.
Are plugs.
Pull out a notepad and start taking notes. Okay.
Those are plugs.
You got like 2 years to figure out stuff. Josh, you got anything to say to finish off the show?
Yeah, in 2 years I'll figure out how to plug stuff. Follow us on Twitter at AniMan Plus or AniMan Podcast or whatever it is.
He made it. He made it. It's almost like how he forgot my birthday and I had to point out my handle is literally AlexLight23.
Listen, didn't know that. I knew that your birthday was this month. I thought it was just like later.
He thought it was the 25th, and that's when I had to point out my handle's literally fucking got 23 in it, and all he said back was, bruh, I just died.
Bruh, most of mine have like 3s and 13s in them, and that has nothing to do with my actual birthday.
That's true. Don't worry. We'll make sure to give a shout out to both your birthdays here next month, especially since they're back to back. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you made it all the way to the end, even though it's a little bit of a lengthy one. Comment below about some of the stuff we talked about. Comment below if you guys happen to check out 86 yet, or if you're planning on it. Phenomenal To Your Eternity as well. absolutely incredible there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and looking forward to the MAPPA event. Look forward to seeing what we're going to have come out of that. Really pumped up to talk about everything coming out of that, most notably Chainsaw Man here on the next episode of AniMan Plus. Shout out to 40 episodes of AniMan Plus. Woo! Shout out to that, man. That's pretty cool. But all right, until next time, guys, have a good one. See you.
Bye.
Later.